Good evening and welcome to Sirdork Live. Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? I see Fred just popping in saying hello. Hey Fred, video game plushies, Cade and Snapphase. Linda's here, how you go? How's it going everyone? Thanks so much for watching. Zim, thank you guys so much for being here. How'd you like the intro? Did you guys like the new intro? Was it cool? Was it cool? Did you like it? Trying to do some new stuff here. It was time for a change. It was time for a change. The other one was too long. It was way too dang long, you know. Cade and Nothing 76. Shadow is here. Shadow Photography. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you guys. I'm really glad you like it. Adam is here. Well, welcome. Welcome. It's going to be a Q&A episode today. I've got a lot of really awesome questions that you guys sent in. So I love doing these Q&A sessions because they're on my end, they're so much easier. I get to kind of just lay back and talk and interact with you guys and just talk, which is great. There's not a whole lot of prep or anything like that, which is great. Toy Immersion, how's it going? Poncho, Shiva, Emerald Knight. I really enjoy that, so I really am happy. And you guys always send in really great questions. You know, like there's a lot of questions that, you know, well, I'll get a lot, which is totally fine, but you guys have just been sending in like these really awesome questions, and it's like I can't wait to talk about these. Just great topics to talk about. So I'm really excited to get you know, some feedback from you guys as well in the live chat, so keep it coming in there. I'll probably throw some polls up in there just to see what you guys think on a certain subject, you know. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Definitely am. And so if you guys are watching right now, thank you so much for being here live. If you're watching later on still, thanks so much for being here. If you do enjoy it, just drop a quick little like, on the video. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And Snapphase says, oh, what's the themes for this month's challenge? Snapphase, where have you been? Snap, my friend, dude, what are you? It's beverage. Yeah, there you go. Cade says beverage. Sirdork beverage. All the info's on Instagram. It's gonna be great. So before I do get into any questions and answering any of those, I have one member that I really need to thank. A new member, and an Emerald Knight Photos speaking member says he's been a member for 5 months. Dude, thank you so much. You are awesome. You are the man. And so here we go. And also, what do you got? How's the new the webcam looking? I have a whole new lighting setup, and I got a whole bunch of different stuff just to make this look better. And I'm really curious to hear what you guys think. Also, I'm using a brand new webcam that my mom got me for my birthday. Thanks, Mom. And yeah, so I'm really curious to see what you guys are thinking of the way it looks right now. Thanks, Emerald and Video Game Plushies. Thanks, you guys. Okay, great. Super clear, says Toy Immersion. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and I can get so close and it stays still super focused with this webcam. This is the Elgato face cam. It's pretty awesome. So I'm glad you guys think so. Yes, Linda says thanks, Mom. If she pops in the live chat tonight, everyone make sure to give her a big thank you for me. So big. Also, speaking of thank yous, big thank you to Cosmic CJ. Yeah, Cosmic J. I've been thinking it's Cosmic CJ the whole time, but Cosmic J, if you're here right now, dude, thank you so much for joining the membership. You are awesome. And here's just an awesome epic shot. And do you know he uses his phone for all of his photos? Look at that. He uses his phone. This was taken with a cell phone. How inspiring is that? That's amazing. So awesome. Cosmic J, thank you so much for joining. If you're interested in joining the membership, if you go right underneath the video, right where usually we'll say subscribe, it says a little, should say a little button that says join. And all the information on the membership is there. And also just go to the membership tab on the YouTube channel. It's all right there. It's all right there. So yeah, Cosmic J, thanks so much. And I chose the Deadshot or the Deathstroke one because I love Deathstroke. He's one of my favorite characters for sure. So let's get into some of the questions that you guys asked me. Let's just get into it. What do you say? And so basically what I did was I went on Instagram and I put it on my story, like, ask me questions. And so I have all of those questions that you guys asked me there. And I also have a bunch of questions that the members sent over on the Discord server. So I'm just going to pull up some of those. Well, actually, I'll pull up everything that you guys sent me. And at the same time, I'm still going to be going into looking at questions in the live chat as well. Just going back and forth with stuff like that. So if I miss your question in the live chat, I'm sorry. But keep throwing stuff in there. And I will definitely, do my best. So awesome. But yeah, so I'm definitely gonna throw some of the polls in the chat too to see like what you guys think about the certain topic we're talking about. Because I love doing the polls. I love doing those. So here we go. And so this is on the Discord server that is to the people who are on the membership on the channel. So if you, like I said, if you want to join the membership, you get access to this really amazing. The Discord channel is so awesome. The Discord server, everybody has just created this awesome, amazing, safe environment, and I'm just so happy and proud of you guys. So whoa, Snapface says he bought a new camera. Well, congrats, that's amazing. So, first question is from Average Guy Collects. He says, what keeps you motivated? I'm sure many toy photographers, like myself, hit creative walls and sometimes lack inspiration. So what keeps you motivated and inspired? Yeah, definitely. Motivation is always a huge thing with I think just about everyone. Including myself, for sure. I can remember one very specific rut that I was in, and I was really struggling, not only to think of ideas, but sometimes just didn't want to, whatever. So what I do to stay motivated is I make sure to give myself a frequency of taking photos and posting that I feel comfortable with. So I have to give myself a realistic goal of how many photos I want to take. So it's very rare, but I will put out a new photo more than once a week. If I put out a photo twice a week, I've got too many ideas going on, and I'm just trying to get them out. So, I will try to maintain a good frequency of taking the pictures. It's don't try to push it too often. Don't feel like you have to get it out or whatever. So give yourself I would like to do once a week, and if you end up getting more than that, great. And so that way, when you're kind of pacing yourself nicely, like you're not squeezing out all your ideas all at once. You're giving yourself a nice kind of slow burn with putting out all the ideas that you're getting. And so it's good to, and that doesn't have to be one a week. You could be 2 a week. You could do one every 2 weeks. However often you want to do it, just make sure it's realistic for what you can do, and definitely try to stick to it for sure. Hey, Lance Peter Luke, how's it going, man? Thanks for being here. So yeah, it's always tough to stay motivated for sure, and like, don't ever feel like you have to do something too. The whole reason you're doing this toy photography thing is because you love it, and that's why. It's because you love it. So when it comes to a point where you're feeling like you have to, that means, okay, you probably should slow down a little bit. Because, so when whatever, and it could be, and if your frequency that you like is every single day, that's fine too. But if you get to a point where like you gotta slow down, that's okay. It's okay. It's always okay to slow down or to not shoot. It's okay. And if you're feeling not motivated, and if you're feeling like you don't want to shoot, then don't. You know what? Let's go and do something else that makes you happy. And then that kick you to shoot, will come back. It will. It definitely will. So, Average Guy Collects, that's a very, very relatable question for sure. So, that's a really good one. Next is from First Strike Figs. He says, not to share too much, but how do you manage your day having so many followers on Instagram, YouTube, etc., and still manage to work and engage in the community? Do you always reply to every comment? Do you engage in liking all posts you are tagged in? First Strike, it's a great question. And well, first of all, the main reason I'm able to do it. Hi, Mom. My mom's here. She said, everyone give my mom a huge thanks for my new webcam. And mom, okay, so my mom throws out a really quick question. Says, "Do you have any upcoming jobs from Disney or any other toy companies?" I actually don't right now. I don't have any big jobs coming up. And trust me, mom, if I did, you would know about it already. But so back to First Strike Figs question. So how do I keep up with answering questions? It's definitely taken a bit for me to get a kind of system. So like, you know, I'll have like I'll try to go into my DMs on Instagram at least twice a day. Make sure I answer everything, get them out, boom. And I have great systems too, because you know how, like, you know, if you get tagged in a photo, it becomes a DM, and you get sent it in your DM. So if that ever happens where, you know, I have them all in my DM, I just go right to my profile under tagged and make sure I go and like every single one, because I definitely want to see all of those. I don't know, it's not really like, I also work from home. My job that I have, I work from home, so I am able to be on my phone or something a little more during my full-time job than, you know, if I was going out, you know, working on the railroad or something. So I'm very fortunate to be able to do that, working from home. I don't know, I just love it. You know, I there are some days where I feel a little bit exhausted, and so if I do, then I'll say, you know what, I'll get to my messages tomorrow. I'll do that. But you know, it's just like every message or whatever I get from you guys they're always so incredibly nice and uplifting, and it makes me feel good. So why would I not want to do that? You know, why would I? You know, it's easy for me because I enjoy it. You know, I just enjoy it. I enjoy every part of it. And so like for YouTube and Instagram, I have a frequency that I like to have, and I don't try to do any more than that. I stick to my frequency. And also, like, this is like my favorite thing to do, you know, is toy photography. So like, this is my hobby, and what, you know, so it's like I'm making myself happy by by doing it. So it's an easy win-win for sure. So yeah, First Strike, great question for sure. And Snapphase, I don't typically work on the railroad, but you never know. Times may get tough, you know. So next is from the Cobraf. Says, if you were a hybrid creature, what kind would it be? Bird, dog, swan, frog, man, cat, man, bat, or some other combined creature? Well, I think I would want to stay something / person. For sure, because humans are like super smart, you know. Like I would want to have like the smart brain of a human for sure. Hey, Toy Mirth. Toybox says working on the railroad is good money. Maybe I should look into the railroad business then, huh? And so my mom says a good one. It says frog / human. Frogs are my favorite animal. I love frogs. So being a frog person would be pretty cool. You know, really long legs, so I could jump really, really high. That'd be cool. That would be actually quite awesome. I probably would go with a frog person. I love frogs for sure. And I'm just thinking of Froppy from My Hero Academia. I'd be just like her. So let's video game. I'm grabbing a little bit from the chat. So video game plushie says, can you do bendy and the ink machine photography? I am familiar with what bendy is, but I don't know anything about it. I've never played the game. I think it looks really cool. Like Bendy and Cuphead have very similar types of aesthetic, right? Like they look kind of similar, right? Am I right with that? But I think they do look cool. But I've never played it, so I mean, if somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, you should like," if I was approached by the Bendy people and they wanted me to shoot, I'd be like, "Heck yeah!" But not super into Bendy. Zim says, "What camera do you use to shoot? And how much did it cost you?" Well, actually, so I use a Sony A7 III, and most often I use a 40mm f2.5 lens, and I also switch it with a 85mm f1.8 lens. And I am very fortunate enough. My camera was at no cost to me, actually. I was contacted by somebody from Sony, and yeah, they sent it to me, so that was cool. But the camera I used previously, I spent about 500 on the, or 600 on the camera body, and the lens itself was like $150. So that's about it. So, but Zim, there are so many cameras that you could go and get a great used camera and do great with it, or you could just use your phone, you know. Toy immersion over here, and like I said, these are all coming from the Discord server, and if you want to, that's in the, for the members. If you want to be a member, it's all below the video. Click on join, all the info is right there. But Toy Immersion says, from your point of view, how can you see toy photography evolving in the future? For example, more artists are using digital backdrops, incorporating stop motion than in years past. Any insight as to what may be possible a year or two from now? Wow, what a cool question. And that's true. Yeah, you do see the art itself is just getting stronger and stronger, and not, like, because toy photography. Well, I don't want to say toy photography is still technically in its infancy, because I learned from 1/6 Shooter that toy photography was back in the 30s. It was pictures of planes and stuff. But oh man, that's so interesting. I would say toy photography as a fandom that we are in now is still definitely in its infancy. So we're basically in the caveman stage of it. So I can only imagine it just improving, and just the stuff people are going to create in the future. And 2 years from now is going to be something we never even thought of. You know, artists are artists. They have creative minds. They're going to be coming up with things I couldn't even think of, and that's just so exciting to think about. As far as me in 2 years, I don't even know if I could think of anything different. I'll just say I'll get a bigger firework. But hopefully, as this continues to go on, not only does the art grow, but the artists grow, and then just the awareness of the art continues to grow, and just everybody knows about toy photography, and it's just huge. You know, that's yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Raz Stuff says, what's your favorite pic in the live chat? He says, what's your favorite pic you've ever taken? It's easy. My favorite photo is it's one I took several years ago, and if you go to my website on Sirdork.com, it's that photo of it's the photo that got me really interested in using this guy, you know, my Sirdork face guy, as my my icon, because I took a photo with him, and I just really loved it, and I was super proud of it. It was when I used fire and water all at the same time, and I was just like, wow, I can't believe it. I took that photo. So yeah, that's my favorite one. That was probably back in 2018. I think I took that shot. 2018? I don't know. So next is from Toy Mirth. So Toy Mirth says, it's a very philosophical question. He says, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And you know, the only answer I have for that is a woodchuck would chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So yeah, thanks Toy Mirth for that question. But then he says, for real though, if you had to choose one figure to shoot and only shoot that figure, which figure would you choose? All your other figures have been taken away. Man, I hate having to think about that. But if that happened, I would probably choose my SH Figure Arts Mandalorian. I love shooting that figure. I love shooting him. He's so shiny. He looks so great, and you know, my little Grogu that goes with him. I don't know. Well, Video Game Plus, she says, why don't you have 1 million subs? Man, that'd be cool, right? Well, thanks, dude. And you know, to help me get 1 million subs, you can make sure you like the video, for sure. Make sure you like it. That'll help. Thanks, man. But yeah, that SH Figure Arts Mandalorian, I love that figure. And if you scroll back onto my Instagram, like I'm using that figure more often than anything else. You know, just like, it's just such a good figure. It's so photogenic. It's so photogenic. Untormirth is here, and he says, I'd have to choose my Hot Toys Baby Groot. Ah, man, and that's the 1:1 scale, I'm assuming, right? The life-size version. Yeah, that's just like, it's literally like holding Baby Groot. Yeah, and you can do so much with that, too. All right, so the last one on here from Toy Stories, he says, not so much of a question, but more of a topic. He says, I would love to travel to New York and have a beer with you and talk toys and photography. How much would you charge? LOL. But for real, it would be awesome. Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be so cool. And well, I'm not much of a beer guy. I think all beer tastes the same, and I'm just like, I would love to have a you know what, just for you, I would crack a cold one with you, just because, and I'd take it down just for you, man. But yeah, not much of a beer guy, but that would be awesome. And it is really something special to be able to actually talk in person with somebody who's, because so much of these conversations we have, are all digital, DMs on Instagram. So it's so awesome when we're able to actually talk with somebody in person about toys, toy photography, stuff like that. So yeah, you're the man, Toy Stories. It'll happen one day. It'll definitely happen one day. Okay, so those are the questions from the members in the Discord server. So thanks for sending those, you guys. Thanks, you guys. And so I got a bunch of questions that you guys sent me from Instagram. So actually, before I do that, let me answer one that popped up in the live chat. So Emerald Knight says, what's the story behind the Hot Toys black suited Superman and the Nightmare Batman? Oh yeah, okay, so I posted that on my story, and I didn't really I opened them up and everything. Usually if I get something fun like that, I'll do an unboxing or something, but I didn't do it just because sometimes I just like to do it off camera and just relax and do it, but yeah, oh man, they're beautiful, beautiful. They're hanging up on the Hot Toys shelf right now. They're looking great. Hey, Lucan, how's it going, dude? And Philip says, morning from Queensland. Morning, good morning, and good evening from New York. And so Shadow FSUP says, I loved meeting you, Jared. Maybe we could shoot something together. I don't know though. My photography ain't as good as yours. Don't talk like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trust me. When at Toys in Action, when we met there, I was meeting photographers that I was like thinking like, man, like the things you do are way better than the things that I could try to do. So like I know the feeling, and it's we're all there for the same reasons, so don't think like that. But dude, it was really great to meet you there. It was so cool to I don't know. It's so cool to know somebody on here and then meet him in person. It was so cool. And thanks again for coming to Toys in Action. All right, here we go. So I got some questions right here, and this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna pull it up like this, and so if anyone's joining and they're not sure which question I'm talking about, I have a little circle. So now you know exactly which question we're talking about. I'm a genius, right? I got a circle, and you'll never believe how I got this circle. You know what I did? I went to Google and I typed in circle, and I got this, and I put it on here. So I know, guys, I'm a whiz. Just like it's crazy. My technical skills are just out of this world. So first question, and actually I believe this was the first one, was from Toybox Unleashed, who's right here. I know in the live chat. He says, topic: shutter speed. What is the lowest number I can go that will catch action? Lower than 800? Well, that all depends. That all depends, Toybox. So think of the shutter speed is how fast your camera is moving. And so it has to move a certain speed to capture something else that's moving a certain speed. So it all depends on the action. So let's say you're using your air gun, and however fast all the dirt is going when you go, and if you're trying to get that crisp look, your camera has to be moving the same or faster than the, so it all depends on how fast the action is moving. It all depends on that. So then, so it doesn't, 800. So let's say a firework, for instance. Firework is something that I use the same, it's almost, I've done it so many times, I know exactly how it's going to work. So like a crackling ball, it always is going to move the same speed. blah blah blah, whatever I'm looking for. I've been able to go down to like 1,000 or even below, and it still be super crisp, you know. So, which is still relatively pretty quick shutter speed. So, yeah, it all depends on whatever it is moving. You know, it all depends on that. So, yeah. So, and now in the live chat, oh, so you know what? The circle doesn't work if I'm doing it in the live chat. Dang it, I didn't think of that. Well, anyway, so Kevin Cornell says, is there a character that hasn't already been an action figure that you wish would be? And if so, who or what? I love this question. There's so many good ones. But the first ones that come to my mind, well, the first one that comes to my mind, I feel very hopeful about, is Indiana Jones, because Hasbro is going to be revealing their Indiana Jones figures in September during their Hasbro PulseCon, and I'm so excited. So there's that. But I really want a good V for Vendetta figure, really bad. I can't believe there isn't one already. Like, it actually completely boggles my mind that NECA or Mezco or something hasn't made them. I think Mezco would be the one to do it if were to happen. Would really like that for sure. Oh, and Toymer says there is an indie figure, a Figma one. You're right. And you know what? I had that figure, and I mean, it did the job for a while, and I think back on it now, and I'm like, wasn't a fan of that. But I think Hasbro is going to be making figures much better than that for $20, so I'm excited for that. But V, whoa! Fred says NECA has a V. Is it the really old one? The one that, well, not the really old one, but the one that came out during the movie, because I have two of those. I have two of those. I have the 12-inch one, then I have the 6-inch ones. I guess I didn't realize those were made by NECA, but I do have those. But I want like a good one. I want like a toy photography one, you know. Yeah, and RJ says he's got an indie from the 80s. Oh, totally. And even not too long ago, in the last like maybe 10 or 15 years, there were some 3 3/4 inch indie figures for sure. Okay, that's the one, Fred, the V you're talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about, you know, good. Okay, so maybe I should have been more clear. So a really good, like 1/12 scale figure. That's what I'm talking about. One that I can pose and do stuff. So V, and then also, I can't believe NECA hasn't done this too. I need the Grinch. I really want a NECA the Grinch, and I mean the Jim Carrey Grinch. God, come on, how is that not a figure? So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Mezco V, Fred, would be great. Would really be great. And hey, Virtuoso says, love your work, bro. Cool to see a relatively small niche to be expanded with your content. Thanks, man. Your consistency and dedication is inspiring. Dude, that I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for being here, man. You're awesome. And Jamie Hill says, I heard they're making another Indiana Jones movie. Yes, they are. Can't wait for that. Yeah, can't wait. All right, so now I'm scooting over here. So now we're going to talk about this question. How to use proper lighting with only one light and a reflector. To be honest, you can get some really great lighting with nothing, with just the sun. So okay, the Luke Skywalker figure that the Luke Skywalker photo that I just posted yesterday, I think, with the milk. All I used was the sun. I didn't even use my reflector. I just used the sun. Just the sun. That's it. And the lighting was awesome. The lighting was perfect. And, you know, thank God the sun is awesome. So I would say this, if you don't want to use anything at all, not even a reflector, if you can go somewhere where there's not a whole lot of trees, pretty decent, you know, opening of no trees, up on a hill maybe, and wait for like past 5, 6 o'clock when the sun's going down, every picture you take during that lighting is gonna be so cool. And, you know, just and even if you don't do that, if you have one light and or if you're using a reflector, all you gotta do is just put your figure down the way you want it, and then just move the lighting around a little bit. Just keep moving it until you find something that looks cool. You know, just moving it around. Just experiment and see what looks the best. That's all I ever do, is just I take the lighting, I'm like, this looks cool like this, or how about this? Just keep moving it around. That's all you got to do for lighting, for sure. And Dennis says the use of reflectors really bring your shots to life. I agree. Yeah, the reflectors are great because you basically can harness the power of the sun. As long as the sun is shining, if you want the light to be over here, you just use that reflector and you can stick it wherever you want. So, yeah, it's really awesome. And Toybox says, has anyone seen that Canon camera transformer coming out? And you know what? I think we should bring that up here. The Canon transformer figure. All right, this is going to be our first poll on that. All right, so going to the browser, and we're going to Google. So the transformer camera figure. Ooh, I gotta fix that, you guys. Man, what did I do with this? Why does this look so bad? Sorry, wow, this is so... I don't know what I was thinking. Here we go. Okay, so this figure is cool. This figure is cool. Where is it, you guys? Here we go. This is it. How cool is this? He literally transforms into a camera, and it's officially licensed by Canon. How cool is that? And I'm not even a Transformer guy, so let's do a first poll. Let's do a little poll here. Would you buy this figure? Or will you buy this figure? Let's see what the consensus is. Yes, Jamie, it's Optimus Prime. Yeah, it's Optimus Prime lens. Get it? This is Prime lens. Whoa, so far we're at 60% saying no. I don't think I would go and pre-order this, but if I was at the store and I saw this, I'd be like, yeah, gotta get it. Oh, you know what? I probably should have mentioned the price. Toymirth says, tough poll. I want it, but the cost is over 150 at the moment. Yeah, I get it. It looks like a quality figure. Yeah. All right, so far the consensus is pretty significantly saying no. But yeah, you know what? They only, like, I'm sure, that's kind of the thing with these kinds of figures. These high-end figures, they don't make a lot of them. They make a small amount, and they just need to sell enough for it to be profitable. They don't need to make too many of them and then lose money. So, that's, just like all the figures, that's why we have to pre-order stuff, RJ says, does it actually take pictures? Well, that would be cool. So, alright, it seems like a pretty solid no. 78% no on that. Excuse me. So, that's quite interesting, though. Alright, let's go back. So, let's just scroll up a little bit here. And let's move our circle over to Toy Photography Bro. Says, what have been the most difficult photos to take so far? The most difficult ones. Honestly, for me, it's the photos that have a lot going on in them. And I guess a lot going on means something different to different people, but there's lots of physical objects and subjects in my photo. Like if I have like multiple figures and characters I all want in focus, like an ensemble stuff, that is very difficult. That's very, very tough for me, for sure. And I get better all the time at it, which is really great. And I was very proud of the one I put out more recently. If you guys remember this one I'll pull it up really quick. This one was very hard. the one with Machamp punching the lemon. And I've kind of come to a great realization about focus, which I think I'm going to make a video about. So this is the photo that I'm talking about. So this one was really hard for me. This one was really tough because when I have all this stuff going on, I want it all to be in focus. So I had to have Machamp in focus, the lemon, Magikarp, Pikachu, the water, all this stuff. So it was quite difficult for me to pull off, but I figured something out. Okay, 1 minute to figure something out, but I have a new kind of understanding about focus and keeping things in the right focus, and I think I'm gonna make a video on that. So that's what I think is the hardest, for sure. I definitely think, when lots of stuff's going on is the hardest. And so Jamie Hild says, Jared, how do we get our questions on the video? So first thing I'll say is make sure you're following me on Instagram, so then you can, I post these whenever I'm doing a stream like this. I'll put the questions on my story, so then you can put them up on here and you can answer the questions and I'll bring them up. But also, Jamie, if you have a question, just throw it in the chat like that, and then I'll do my best to try and answer, because I'm gonna try and do back and forth, Toybox says, what I figured you just went outside and banged this out. Actually, I had to go to a local parking lot near my house to get a wide open space to get the right sunlight and everything. I set up a table, all that stuff. All right, I'm probably gonna have to start moving up quicker because I got a lot of questions to get through. All right. So another one from Toy Photography Bro says, if you could start over with toy photography, what would you do differently? Man, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if I would say anything. Because, when I was still learning, when I first started, I was still learning, and, that was such a great time period for me. Just like I think it is for everybody, just to take it slow and just take photos and learn as you go, and just I had a very comfortable progression with the more I learned and stuff like that. And I'm glad I didn't push myself any more than I did back then. So Toy Photography Bro, I'm gonna say nothing. I'm gonna go the cheap route and say nothing. I'm gonna say nothing. All right. So Raz Stuff over here in the live chat says hi. Hope you're having some raspberry flavored stuff. Raz Stuff. So this is from Glitchtography. Says, hang on, sorry, wow, I'm really struggling here with all my stuff. So it says, can you do a horror? Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna get to this glitch photography. I'm gonna get to this one after I get to this one. So I'm gonna start with, he says, Glitchtography says, how do you always come up with specific challenge themes for example, beverage? Like, how do I come up with the challenge themes? What makes me choose them? And I do actually have a very, very specific kind of way I choose the themes. I don't just pick anything. So, if you guys know already, yeah, you probably do. We do these really fun challenges every month on this YouTube channel. So anyone can join. You just gotta use the hashtag, take a photo with a special theme. And all of the themes, have been really random. Like right now, the theme is beverage. So I will specifically, the first thing I will think of when I'm choosing the themes are, can everyone do this? So I don't want to do a theme where it's like Darth Vader theme, and who knows, there could be somebody out there who's like, man, I don't have a Darth Vader, I can't participate in this. Dang it. So I definitely want to make sure that the theme doesn't, I mean, I can't 100% any of this, but I really don't, I want to make sure I exclude as little people as possible. I want everyone to be included. If you want to join, you can, and I don't want you to be excluded depending on what figures you have. So that's the number one right there. And number two is I'm very, very specifically will choose very random things that will force you to kind of think outside of the normal thought process you normally would with your toy photos. So for instance, Glitch Photography up here, you said, can you do a horror thriller or prehistoric challenge, something like that. Those are all great themes. I love seeing horror photos, prehistoric stuff. Oh, that's awesome. But so some people might not be a fan of horror. Some people might already do a lot of horror. Prehistoric, not see for me. I don't even have any dinosaur figures. Some people don't. So those could exclude some people. Not saying that these are bad ideas, because I would love to see all of these. But also at the same time, these are not usual, but themes that you do often see in toy photography, which is because they're awesome and they're not super random. I love coming up with really random stuff like an egg, Sirdork egg, or your hand, like putting your hand in the photo. So yes, Jamie says, so you think outside of the box. Yes. Toy Box says you're okay, I read that out of context. You said, I'm loving my shot this month. I'm usually unhappy with them. Well, I'm glad, man. You're killing it. You're always killing it, dude. But yeah, I like trying to make people think out of the box, and then I know, I love seeing the different stuff, and then also makes it cool too, because then the more weird and crazy shots there are, the more of an enjoyable stream it is for anyone who ends up watching the stream, you know. Yeah. So that's how I do the thought process behind the challenge themes. So Ultrafly, how's it going, Ultrafly? Says, do you shoot in RAW or JPEG? I shoot in JPEG. And so for a while I wasn't shooting in RAW because I was like, because this was just out of my own ignorance. I was just like, I don't know how to use Photoshop in a way that I can get all the benefits from shooting a RAW image. And so now I use the camera raw filter in Photoshop anyway, but with a JPEG. But in my experience using shooting in RAW, and this also could be me sounding ignorant because I don't do it often, it's always been very slow. The camera goes much slower, and which is aggravating. Usually I'm trying to shoot fast with all these action and stuff, and that, the RAW moving slower kind of became a hindrance to that. So that's why, I guess. But at the same time, who knows? Maybe there could be somebody in the live chat saying that's because you're not doing it right, and I'm like, you're probably right. It's not something I've done a whole lot of, so but that is why I shoot in JPEG, at least in my experiences, for sure. Yeah. And Fred says, the good thing about shooting in RAW is you have more information in the photos. Right, yeah. Yeah, I know. And actually what's really cool too on my, I don't know if it's just because of my camera, but the information I get on each photo on my Sony is so cool. It tells me so much information about the settings I used, all this stuff, just by looking at the photo. It's really cool. Really, really cool. So, all right, that's the first bunch of questions here, and I'm going to scooch on to the next one. And like I said, you guys, if you have any ones, and if you're like, oh crap, I missed the Instagram, it's all right. You can oh, Fred's right here. Just throw some stuff in the live chat. I'm going to do my best with answering, for sure. And if I missed it, throw it in there again. I promise I'll do my best to get to it. So next one is from Milo Studs, not My Lost Uds. Artistic Toasters here says, hey Jared, everyone, I'm just dropping in for a little bit since I'm studying. Well, you are awesome, dude. Thanks so much for being here, and good luck with good luck with your tests and stuff. Milo Studs, maybe it is My Lost Uds, I don't know, says, do you have any advice on how to get out of a creative barrier? Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, creative barrier, so does this mean you're trying to break out and do something new and different, or you just can't think of anything? I would say, well, definitely keep your mind open on Instagram or wherever you see other toy photography. Look at other people's toy photos. Don't go and steal somebody's photo. I mean, if you get inspired by someone, you want to redo it, there's nothing wrong with that. Just let them know. But you can always get great inspiration from seeing other people's work, for sure. That happens to me all the time. I'm always inspired by seeing other people's photos. So definitely do that. And then just also, like I always say this, keep your mind open all day, every day. While you're at work and you're looking at the pen on your desk, you're like, that'd be funny if I had Spider-Man using my pen, drawing a spider web. That'd be a funny picture. You know, just think about stuff like that. Or you're driving home and you see a sidewalk and there's a puddle on the sidewalk, and you're like, hey, that would kind of look cool. You know, just like keep your eyes open and your mind open all the time. Hey, William, how's it going, dude? Concrete Sledge says, don't get me wrong, I grew up with comics, but I developed my talent to draw long before YouTube stopped giving this leech money. Psycho Concrete Sledge, dude, sounds like you've got some great drawing stuff going on, but I don't know. I wish you the best of luck, dude, whatever you're going on about. Okay, Jamie's got a great question. Says, how do you get your water splash effects in your toy photos, Jared? Jamie, you know what? I have a whole video that answers that question. Yeah, fast shutter speed, lots of light, and you can get some really, you know, as long as your shutter speed's fast and you get lots of light for the water, you know, the splashes come out great in your photos. So, Jamie, go watch the video under my tutorials playlist. It's on the channel right now. All the info I know about water effects right there. You're awesome. Oh, and Snapphase. This is a great answer. He's answering my Lost Studs question. He says, Sirdork challenge is a great way to get through the creative barrier. That's like my entire goal. So Snapphase, you are awesome, my friend. That's my goal. Yes, is make you think in a way you wouldn't normally think. Okay, so the next question is from Northern Fred, who's right here in the chat. He says, topic, not reaching as many on Instagram anymore. Interesting. Well, this is definitely a big topic right now with Instagram, with the Reels and stuff, and there's a couple other similar questions, but for me, I'm not really experiencing less, but that could be different. Maybe I'm not noticing it, but it's not going to be the same for everybody. And whether or not you have, 100 followers or you have 100,000 followers, it's all about, I don't know. And for me, it is also a little different because I'm active on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and I put everything out there. And so that is one thing that helps me. I put my stuff everywhere. And so I get people from Instagram who are like, hey, I followed you on TikTok, or hey, I was on YouTube. So, but I'll still keep Instagram my kind of main thing. So I would say if you don't like Reels, you know what? Screw the Reels, don't worry about them. Just don't do them. But if you still want to keep up with everything on Instagram, give the Reels a shot. I think doing Instagram Reels are a lot of fun. I think they're fun, and they do quite well. It took me five minutes or less to film my most recent Reel that I posted, and it's got over 200,000 views. It's all about just making fun little videos, and I think it's fun. Hey, Mr. Tang's World, joining back again in this membership. Dude, thanks so much for joining. You are awesome. Thanks for being here, dude. Welcome back. It's good to have you. Linda says, I have a question. How do you promote people on Instagram? I don't do stories. But people have been adding me to their stories, and I don't know how to reciprocate. Oh, you know what, Linda? That I remember when I first started seeing other people sharing on their stories. So basically, what you do is, so if you go to a post that you like, and so underneath it they'll have the like button, the comment button, and then there's the little arrow button. Click on the little arrow, and that's the share button. So you can either send it to somebody through a DM, like you send them that post. Send it to a DM, or you can just add it to your story. Once you click on that, you can add the post right onto your story, and it's really, really great. Really great way to do it, for sure. So yeah, that's all you gotta do, Linda. It's easy. RJ said, I got a new follower from the Reel I posted. Yes, awesome. Yeah, you know what? The reels are even if and I know like I totally get why anyone doesn't like them, because you know this Instagram, I'm taking pictures. Great, now I gotta take videos too for my pictures. I get it. I totally get it. I like making video, so like I kind of like it and whatever. But yeah, it's a great way to get, like, if you take advantage of the reels, you're gonna be doing better than ever, because it's a really great way that new people can see your videos, for sure. And whenever I'm scrolling on here, I'm like on the Instagram reels just watching, it's always from new people that I'm not already following, so it's cool. Mr. Tang's World says, I just have to tell everyone in the chat, you have not watched if you have not watched Sirdork's video on how to make Instagram reel, go watch it. It's well worth it. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, dude. Thanks for watching that, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I made a whole video about reels and stuff. So, yeah, it's fun. I like doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. And Dylan says, as a toy photographer myself, what is the worst thing that happens? The worst thing that can happen. I mean, one time when I was taking a photo, I basically dropped my camera in a waterfall and I broke it. So that kind of sucked. There's a lot of bad things that could happen. Just gotta be careful. And Rod Az says, what's your favorite Star Wars character? That's so incredibly difficult. I have a lot of different ones for different reasons, but usually my answer lately has been Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon Jinn is wise, somebody that I look up to. Usually the characters that I resonate the most with are characters that I like look up to as a role model, you know. So I love Qui-Gon Jinn. Actually, Mao says, one thing I did on, so there's a lot of great Instagram. There's some other really good Instagram Reels stuff in the questions too. So we'll definitely have some good. Actually, you know what? I'll do that a little bit later. But yeah, a lot of good stuff in the Reels, in here. And Mao says, one thing I did on IG to relieve my head was hiding the like count on other posts. It can really mess you up. Yeah, I think that's cool that you can hide your like count on posts too. For sure. I agree. I think that's cool. And Fred says, what gets me is I have noticed a decline from even a couple months ago. Interesting. Fred, that could be that could be from Instagram, I'm not sure, but I don't know, I guess that could be a million other reasons, I guess. I don't really know. I have no idea, but I get it. I totally get it. And I know it might feel like whatever, I have thousands of followers, so like it's different for me, but my if you were to look at my likes to follower ratio, it's incredibly skewed. So I would say on average I get around 3,000 on a good day, 3,000 likes on a photo, and I have 75,000. That's like a tiniest little fraction of the people that follow like the photos. Like, so my so it's like, I get you. I get it. Where are the other 70,000 people, you know? I get it. Trust me, I get it. So Monty Vic says, have you seen Prey yet? And if so, will you get the figure if they make it? I watched it last night. Actually, and it was awesome, and I was just so happy to see, because I think the Predator movies, I don't know, I think they're like the universe and the Predator world is so cool, but a lot of the movies haven't been up to par, especially the last one was such a huge disappointment, but this one was just so good, and I'm just happy to see, you know, everybody loving it, and it was so awesome. I probably won't get the figure. In my eyes, like, all the Predators kind of look the same. But I did definitely notice the difference in the design of his face and stuff. And he definitely looked a lot more primitive, not a lot of armor or stuff like that. So really cool. I probably won't be picking up a figure. But you know they're going to make a figure. I'm surprised they haven't released it yet. Uh, so anyway, Nick says, one of my biggest inspirations, my question to you is lighting. How do you get such great lighting in your shots? I mean, the best thing I could ever say with lighting, and I mentioned this earlier too, is just mess around, move the figure around in the lights in different areas until you get something that looks cool. But Nick, I have a whole video just on lighting and all about different kinds of lighting and different lights and how to get cool lighting, stuff like that. So Nick, I would definitely recommend check out my toy photography lighting tutorial on the channel. Everything I know about lighting is in that video for sure. For sure. Yeah, I'm glad. I love when just something, especially when a certain fandom or whatever has kind of been in a little bit of a rut lately, and a lot of people are not saying nice things about it or whatever, and then a movie comes out and then everybody loves it. It's so renownedly loved, and it's just like, yes, I just feel so like it's a huge win. So yes, it just makes me happy about Prey. So I can't wait to see the next Predator movie. So the next question's from, what if I don't have any equipment and I just have InShot? Maybe that's an app or something. And I try to make the best of it. That's great. That's you are awesome. You don't have any equipment and you're just making the best of it. That is so awesome. And you know what? So it's from Selim Tarek. Selim Tarek. I've been there too. When I first started, I didn't have any equipment. I just had my phone, my iPhone 4. Was it a 4? I think it was my iPhone 4. Yeah, that's what I was shooting with. And that's all I had. Just that. I didn't even have any type of lighting and some figures. And I just walked to cool places and took photos. And that was all I did. That was it. And so that's all you got to do. And then, as you kind of keep doing it, you get better. And it's like, okay, now I want to save up for this. Then you get one little thing. And then now I want to save up for this. And you just get, that's all it is. You don't have to have all this fancy stuff. You never really have to have any of this fancy stuff. So much of the good stuff you need is free. Like the sun. Great lighting for free. Nick Davis says, what is, in your opinion, your best work singing you are proud of? So what's my best work? I don't know. There are definitely times where I'm very proud of the photo after I'm done with it, and I feel really good about myself. I'm like, yes, I took a great photo. One photo that I'm really, it's like a year old at this point, but I think it's one of my favorite shots I've ever done is this Deadpool one. This Deadpool one, and I've taken a lot of very similar ones to this since then, just like this one, and this one's pretty similar, jumping up, punching. This one's pretty similar in the same spot. So probably this Deadpool one. I just, I don't know. I was super proud of it. Super proud of that one. For sure. Thanks, Skamuki Doo. I noticed him, but I was just gonna let him just stew in his own hate and just make himself. And if he keeps going in the live chat, just ignore him. Just leave him and let him stew in his own swirl of hate, and just realize that he's not gonna get anywhere with it. And that was it. I wasn't even gonna waste my time, blocking him. I was just gonna let him do his thing. But it happens. So, and that's okay. So the next one is from Camera of a Toy. Camera of a Toy says, what camera would you recommend for toy photography? Well, I mean, this is like the question, with toy photography, if you want to take pictures, you gotta have a camera. This is like the question. Well, first of all, I would say, this is not a cop-out answer. Every camera is great. Anything you've got works so well. If you have just your phone. We just had that one guy's photo up, Cosmic J. He was using a phone, and it was awesome. It was so good. If you just use your phone, it's so cool. You can do some amazing stuff with just your phone. And if you have your uncle's old camera that he has and he lets you use it, Awesome. Use that. You'll be able to take some great photos with that. All cameras do great work. You know, it's just use what you got. But whenever I recommend a first camera, I recommend the first camera that I had, which was the Canon Rebel T6 or the T7 or one of those Ts. But that was my first camera, and it was awesome, and I used it for a very long time, and I learned a lot while using it. So that's what I would say. And yeah, the Snapface says something too. It says depends on what you can afford. I started with a cheap Nikon D3500, but I'm upgrading mainly for the flip out screen. Oh man, the flip out screen is great. Yeah, for sure. You guys are so funny. Yeah, anything you got is great. But and if you're ever curious, like anytime I'm ever curious about anything I need is, or if I gear or something, I just go on YouTube. That's this new webcam right here. The reason I learned about this is I looked up what's the best webcam on YouTube, and that's how I figured it out. And this webcam is great. So yeah. Okay, let's do a poll. We're talking about cameras here, so let's do a poll. So what kind of camera do you have? So we're gonna have a Canon, Sony, or a phone. Let's say Nikon, and I can only do 4. So if you shoot with anything other than that, if you shoot with anything other than that, like a Lumix or a Fujifilm or something like that, a Kodak, then don't answer. Or okay, don't. Well, then say what. Just throw it in the live chat. Oh, so Biggery Holler says my first was and is a Canon T3. Whoa, the T3, that's an old one. And Mal has a Sony from 2012 and it gets the job done. Or a Polaroid, Lucan, that's a good one. Wow, lots of 35% phone. That's great. You know, for like, I use a lot of different cameras when I film my YouTube videos, but 90% of it, I use my phone to film my YouTube videos. Now, obviously not right now, but for the normal ones, I just use my phone. It comes out great, and it's easy. So there we go. Phonography for the win, says RJ Stubbs. Yeah. Lucan says I want to try a film camera one day. Yeah, that'd be fun. You know what I've been really wanting to do for a video is to do a disposable camera. Toy photography with a disposable camera. Wouldn't that be fun? And then just get them printed or get them developed. Okay, so we got 48%. I'm going to end the poll right now. We got 48% Canon. So Canon seems to be leading the way here. 37% phone, Nikon 11, and only 3% Sony. Wow, I thought it was gonna be a little more than that. That's cool. This is awesome. I gotta use these I gotta use these polls more often for sure. So the next one is from Mal 182, who's here in the live chat. Mal says Sony bros. I don't feel so good. That's me. Mal says, things people should invest on to improve their photos. That's actually a great, I would say, and this is my own opinion, because there's been a lot of, I was just showing all the love to the phone photography, the phone photography fam. Love all of you guys, and I'm always so impressed. But in my opinion, the first thing, if you're just using a phone, the first thing to invest in is get a DSLR. You got so much. Get a camera. You get lots of control, and a lot of less limitations that way. Plus, you can put different lenses and stuff on it. So that would be number one, I think. But other than that, the other things I use most often as far as investing goes, like a lot of the stuff that I use a lot are pretty cheap. Like my light reflector, real cheap. My little air gun, real cheap. So a lot of this stuff is real cheap. I do really enjoy using my Lume cubes very, very much. And if anyone wants to get a Lume cube, you know where to go. I got 10% off for you. It's in the description of this video. So yeah, but a lot of the stuff is a lot of good stuff is either really cheap or free. You know, free stuff for sure. Like I said, the photo I did just the other day with Luke Skywalker and the milk. The cup that I bought was from the dollar store. The milk was from Stewart's local, store. And the figure. Oh, okay. People could invest on great figures. There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. All right. So Yorgi's photo is our next guy. So let me scooch it up a little bit. Yorgi's photo. Yorgi's awesome, super nice guy, and takes some amazing photos. His photo got pretty far in the tournament too that we did a while back, by the way. So it says, any tips on getting endorsed by any accessory companies, lights, props, etc.? I would say, well, the very first thing with this is just, because this stuff, from companies and everything will come so much easier when you've mastered your work. Maybe not master, but you've made your art and your photos the best they could be. You're creating some really awesome photos, and then you next focus on your social media presence. You post on TikTok and YouTube and this and this and this, so then you can try to gain a following, and then those guys kind of come much easier. So definitely focus on those things first. And I have videos that have all my best tips on that. Gaining a following and stuff like that. But you could always reach out to them, like people like LumeCube. They have the way I became a LumeCube ambassador is one time I just sent them a DM and I was like, hey, if you guys need any toy photographers, I could be. And so they're like, yeah, sure, fill out the form. And I was like, okay. So I did, and they accepted me, which is cool. And that was a while ago too. That was when I had a significantly less amount of followers. So just don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to tag them, tag people. So many of the times where companies have noticed me is if I tag them. I just tag them in my photo. Like Mountain Dew, they noticed me just because I tagged them. Just keep doing that all the time. Some companies operate differently. Like companies like Mountain Dew, like they have social media managers that go out of their way to find people and like stuff and comment, which is cool. And other companies, they probably don't really do that much of that, and that's okay. That's just kind of, I guess it depends on their own business practices. So just keep check, and you go on the website, send emails out, do all that stuff. But don't ever feel rejected if you get rejected. Don't ever feel bad, because trust me, it's happened to me plenty of times. I've been rejected way more times than I haven't been rejected. Nick Davis says, you have a favorite character to show. Favorite character to show? Well, my favorite things I like to shoot are stormtroopers, for sure. Like this guy right here. My man. My favorite. Love this guy. And I got a brand new one, and look what I did to him. I burnt him a little bit. Whoopsie. So, yeah, there's that, for sure. Mao says, I always tag toy companies in hopes that they will send me some figures. You never know. And you know what? Go to those... If those toy companies have Instagrams or something, go to their Instagram. Who knows? They might have a special tag for them to use. Like Photoshop has a special tag, and I always use that because I want them to notice me. And Sony Alpha, their cameras specifically have a special tag, and I always post it for them to notice me. So, yeah. Just keep posting stuff. Keep doing awesome work, Yorgi. You're on the right track for sure. So Tom actually sent in a lot of really great questions. I'm really looking forward to answering a lot of these and talking about these. But he says, have you ever thought to branch out to other areas beyond toys with your photos. Absolutely. So I do like all of the so my girlfriend Harlene's cosplayer, all that. So I take all of her photos, and that's always a huge and awesome learning experience for me. Every time we do it, I've learned a lot about lots of things. Just shooting, life-size person as opposed to a small person. Lots of different stuff there. I really enjoy just kind of product photography. It's kind of the same principles, but I have had legitimate product photography jobs before, which is really cool. I did one for a hot sauce company, which is awesome. I took some pictures of some hot sauce bottles. That was so cool. And then sometimes I go on hikes. I'll bring my camera with my long lens, and I'll take pictures of turtles or something if I see them. It's fun. So yeah, absolutely. But Artistic Toaster in the live chat says, Jared, curious, how do you deal with if you missed a pre-order of a figure you really, really want? I guess, well, it depends. So if I missed a pre-order, and let's say like the pre-order just launched and it's already pre-orders full, and you're like, no, there are a lot of different toy sites out there that you'd be surprised that might still have it on stream on pre-order, like especially with Japanese figures. There's a lot of sites that have Japanese figures on pre-order. And I remember one time I missed it was like Super Saiyan Gogeta from the Broly movie way back, and I was like, I missed him. So what I did was I just Googled SH Figure Arts Gogeta pre-order, boom, and I found it from this random website. Like it was what was it? Something Gundam. I don't remember what it was. Gundam USA. I pre-ordered it from some random shop called Gundam USA, and I made sure, and I Googled the reviews of the shop to make sure it was legitimate. And so that's what I'll do. And then if it's way back, if you missed the pre-order and it was like a year ago and the figure's getting, shipped out, then you're a little late. You're just like, huh. Then I would just scour eBay, scour Instagram, and ask if anybody's got extras. And who knows, you might find one. That's the best thing I can do there. For sure. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Here we've got... So here we go. So Tom went crazy and sent in a ton of questions. NY Rebel. So Tom, if you're going to come in, now would be the time. So, and they're all really great questions that are going to come to a lot of really great discussions, I think. So he says, if Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel decided to stop making toys of their characters and DC, what toys would you shoot? I'm sure this answer is a lot easier for a lot of other people, but I love shooting Star Wars and DC and stuff like that. But I do really enjoy shooting some anime stuff too. So Pokemon is my the three most meaningful intellectual properties in my life have been Star Wars, DC, and Pokemon. So yeah, I would probably just exclusively start shooting Pokemon. But other stuff too, and there's always this great NECA stuff that does Ninja Turtles and all this other great stuff. JoJo figures, says Artistic Toaster. Yeah. Stuff like that. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff, but Pokemon would probably be my first one. And Rod AZ says, hey Jared, have you ever worked with the TB League seamless figure in your toy photography? No, to be honest, I have no idea what that is. I have no clue what that is. So no, my friend, sorry. So NY Rebel throws in another good one. Says, besides Instagram and YouTube, do you post content in other places such as Flickr? Another really great question. I don't use Flickr, but so the main places where I will post are YouTube and Instagram, and I very much utilize TikTok too. That would be my next main one, is putting stuff on TikTok. And I have a Facebook page too. I put my stuff on Facebook, on the Sirdork Photography Facebook. I have like 4,000 followers on that. That's pretty cool. and I put it on Twitter. I forget and neglect Twitter a lot. I forget about Twitter a lot, but I do every once in a while. I'll throw something on Twitter. You know, but Flickr I don't ever use. I know there's a lot of other great, like, specifically for photography stuff. There's Facebook groups and stuff, and I recommend putting them everywhere. I remember listening to a podcast that Dwayne Shoots Toy was on, and he was like, "Yeah, I put it everywhere. I even put my stuff on Pinterest." And it's like, yeah, you could even, you know, find subreddits and put your stuff on there. You know, but if you put anything on Reddit and different subreddits, just be prepared to be, you know, just ripped apart, because people are brutal and honest on there. They're brutal. So those are the main ones I use. But I would say there's never anything, no harm goes by putting your stuff anywhere. Nick Davis says, why do you enjoy shooting DC so much? Are the details better than the Marvel? I would say no. Actually, I like the quality of Hasbro Marvel Legends more than I like the quality of McFarlane's DC figures. But I just like shooting DC because I'm a big DC fan. I just really connect with those characters. Superman's my favorite character ever. I just love DC. I'm a big DC reader myself. So that's all. And Toybox says, did you drink the blue milk? And you know what? I would have, just for the fun of it, but I am so terribly lactose intolerant. So if I drank that, I would have gotten the worst heartburn. I don't know if lactose intolerance is what I have, but anytime I have milk products, I get instant horrible heartburn. And yeah, so I didn't. But I was looking for almond milk, to be honest, so that I could drink it, but I couldn't find a nice little bottle of almond milk from where I was. RJ Sub says, anyone try Vero yet? I heard it's all right. No, and you know, the only reason I've gone on Vero is because I remember, like, back when Zack Snyder was, you know, he was really posting a lot of stuff about the Snyder Cut before it came out. I was like, ooh, I want to see all the stuff he's posting, because he used Vero a lot. Oh my gosh, you guys are such great questions. I'm really enjoying. Thank you guys for being here and throwing these questions in here. Thank you, Nick. Same thing to you. He says, Flaruffneck says, do you variate your lenses, or you do have one specific? I have two that I use, and I will variate them depending on which one, and then I'll kind of go through phases where, like, I like this one more. For the most part, they're both kind of great for doing the same kinds of things. They come out a little bit differently, but I have been using my 85mm. I like f1.8. I can go really low f-stop on that, so that's why I've been using it for sure. All right. Okay, actually, you know what, guys? I will be back in literally less than 30 seconds. My toilet keeps flushing over and over. I gotta check something. I'll be right back, I swear. And we're gonna go right here. 3, 2, 1. I'll be right back. Alright, I have returned. Sorry about that. Just had to check it out. So I learned this really cool hack on TikTok about keeping your toilet super clean and nice smelling. If you just take a bottle still full of cleaner, not even opened up, you cut a little hole on the bottom and you leave it in the back there. It'll just slowly let some cleaner out, and every time you flush it, the cleaner goes into the toilet and keeps it clean and smells great. I've been doing that for a while now, and I love it. But for some reason, it's being weird. But anyway, I wish my cat knew how to flush. Trust me, I wish he could. So the next question on here. Jade Studio says, where do you send in the questions? Yeah, so I had a little Instagram Q&A question thing earlier, and so all of these are on here. All of those are from there on Instagram. But if you do have any questions, send them on over in the live chat, and I'll do my best to answer. Trying to do a little bit of both on here. Artistic Toaster, have a great night, my friend. So another thing about Instagram Reels. So Tom says, has your photo, have your photo views reach? Wow, sorry. Have your photos and views reach dropped since Meta's changes and focus to Reels? For me, they have not. I don't think they have. But I've always kind of, like, when the Reels thing happened, even when the Reels were first introduced, I was like super pumped about it, because I was already very invested in putting my toy photography on TikTok anyway. So when that happened, I was like, okay, sweet, I'll just take the videos I already make for TikTok and put them on Instagram Reels. Awesome, this is great. Like, I was really excited. I was like, this is great news. So now I can utilize these TikTok videos for something else on Instagram too. But I was like, I don't want to put them all of the TikToks on Instagram. I don't want to exhaust my followers by just putting videos out now. So that wasn't really a huge change for me. So anytime I'll make it, because sometimes the videos that I make for, like, I'll take a photo I think is really great, but then my behind the scenes videos is kind of lame, so it doesn't do very well. But then I'll make a great video, but I don't think the photo is that great. And so the video does great, but the photo doesn't do great. So I don't know. I'll it hasn't gone down for me really much at all. But like I said, it's like I was saying before, it's different. Like within my situation, I already am putting my stuff everywhere. So like I'm getting engagement from all these different places anyway. So even if it could potentially have gone down for Instagram, but I'm fortunate enough to get people that say, hey, I found you on YouTube, and so I'm here, and I'm just like, thank you. So that's why it's good to stick your stuff everywhere, you guys. Don't just stick it just on Instagram. Go all over the place. Commander Gree, how's it going? And Imperial Propaganda, how is it going? And Mao, have a great night, dude. Have a great night. And so the next one is from Tom. He says, how do you manage all of your photos? Name them, photo them, etc. I don't have anything super crazy. I have a folder just called Toy Pics, and I put all my photos in there. And I have a couple folders where I put other things too, but just all my normal photos, I just have them in that one folder. I don't name them. I usually will do two. For long ones, I'll do a cropped one for Instagram, and then I'll do the normal one that I'll save as well. So, Commander Ninja, how's it going? But yeah, I throw them in a folder. And I have them stored on an external hard drive as well. Because can you imagine losing all that? That would not be good. Toybox says, I don't know, for me it seems like after I got 300 followers, I get more traffic in a day. Yeah, that's true. I know you had one great, crazy day like that. The Reels and stuff can be really good. I'm telling you guys, the Reels can be good. You just gotta embrace them and try to make some good stuff. Make some fun videos. They're fun. It's fun. Jade Studio says, so I've got to ask, I use my phone to shoot pics, and I was wondering how you managed to have a completely dark background with the lighting I use. I always manage to hit it and have yet to figure out how to edit that properly. Any advice? So to get so let me make sure. So wondering how you managed to have a completely dark background with the lighting I use. I always manage just to hit it, yet I have to figure out. Well, when I'm shooting with a phone and shooting with your camera, a lot of times you can, take a photo somewhere where it's not just a black background and mess with your settings enough to the point where it looks like a black background. So you do have a lot less limitations with your camera as opposed to your phone. So that could be it. So phones are great. They can take awesome, beautiful, crispy, clean photos, but they do have a lot more limitations. So that could be it for sure. And Jade Studios, if you ever want to have any more in-depth questions, send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to try and help you out. Austin says, great question. I have hundreds of rejects I should probably delete. Anyone else keep their rejects or throwaways? Austin, I don't keep, or I don't throw them away. I keep them all. Every photo. Well, okay, that's not true. There have been times where I've taken a photo, and even before I finish editing it, I just scrap it, and that's it. But anything I've fully edited and kept, yeah, I don't get rid of those. And sometimes I'll even film TikTok for it and videos, and then I edit and I don't like the photo and I won't post it. But I'll still throw the video on TikTok, and sometimes those videos do great. So you never know. It's just dump it somewhere. Dump it on TikTok or wherever. Don't get rid of those for sure. Don't get rid of those. So NY Rebel, I'm telling you, he put in a lot of really good ones tonight. Says, and we're gonna move circle. I'm moving a lot slower tonight because my cordless mouse for some reason just doesn't. Whenever I have my webcam and all this other stuff plugged in, the mouse doesn't really work very well. But now it's working great. So Tom says, how many photos of one shot do you typically take? After you process your photo, how many do you keep? Well, actually, it's weird because I'll usually take, because I'll take lots of bits of different photos and combine them all into one. So after I've taken all my hundreds of photos that I plan to combine all into one, I'll just take the good stuff from each photo, combine them all into one, and I'll usually will keep them on my SD card for like a while, and then eventually I'll just delete them. Once I have the one main one that I like and that I want, I save that and I hold on to it. But all the other leftovers, I just kind of get rid of them. It's natural for me to take 100 photo, basically almost test photos, and then just kind of get rid of the ones I don't need. Pretty much. Yeah, and sometimes like, is that what you meant by throwaways in the chat, Austin? So like if you take like different angled photos, like I would say even if you take like one photo from this angle and then like a B-side angle or something, even if the other one's still kind of cool looking, keep it. You never know. You could post it. You could save it for like, you're dry on content a year from now, and you're like, I still got that one weird angle that I never posted. I'm gonna post that today and watch it do like really good. You never know. Yes, okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, why not? As long as you think they're worth keeping, why not? Yeah. Toymer says, when I'm taking shots with fire, I can take 100 shots and only use 1 or 2. Yes, see, Toymer, like that's basically me every single time. I take 100 shots, and then I'm just like, these are good, boop, and that's it. And Toybox says, depending on the sun, I take 10 in 3 seconds, and out of that, 10 is good. Yeah, yep, I got you. Same here, man. Next is actually from JDR1205. Do you keep a list of photo ideas, or do you just run with whatever pops in your head? Yeah, that's the first one. All the time when I'm working and doing whatever, like I get these ideas pop in my head, and then I'll be like, yeah, this will be good, and they'll just be kind of stirring in my head for a while. And most of the time I'll write them down somewhere just so I don't forget them. But yeah, it'll just be like stirring in my head, and just like I think about the one shot like for weeks, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this and this, and then I'll just go and set that up. Like the one with the milk, that was stirring around in my head for many weeks until I actually went and did it. Whew, okay, I need a drink. You guys are awesome. Okay, so next question is from, I'm trying to scroll over here like, sorry, wrong buttons. Next is from the Celtic Collector, the Celtic Collector. Let me grab my circle and scoot it over. It says, could you suggest some settings that could be made with objects around the house? Okay, I see what you mean. Man, anything. You could take pictures with your pets. Like, that's always a great setting. It's like, the thing is, like, if you approach toy photography in the way of kind of like breaking the fourth wall kind of way, and you're embracing the fact that these guys are toys, and they're doing things like kind of like Toy Story. You know, they are toys, and they are, interacting with these life-sized objects. That's a whole new world of different possibilities. And that's one of my favorite things, is doing that. Like, the last 2 pictures are of characters, and I have some more coming soon, with these life-size cups with liquids and stuff. And then that's fun. These giant lemons and milk. Just embrace that for sure. And if you take it that way, your whole house could be potential stuff. And I have a whole indoor toy photography tips video. So, I give a lot of my best ideas through there. Oh, Rod AZ, have a good night, my friend. And so, Bridger Berg says, could you show me how to edit correctly? Well, my friend, editing is a monster. Editing is tough, and there's all kinds of apps, and for sure. And I'm trying to kind of make my editing tutorials library bigger, for sure. So I have a whole playlist on here about editing. So depending on if you're editing on your phone or you're editing on Photoshop, I have a whole playlist of different stuff that could be helpful. So Bridger Berg, head on to the into the playlist and see if there's anything helpful in there. There should be a lot of stuff. I did a lot of live streams too with editing photos live, so it was right from the start, from start to finish with editing, and that was a ton of fun. All right, moving on to the next one. I think Tom's still got a few more, so we probably will get to some more of his questions coming up soon. So next is from Figure Freddy. Best place to get figs? Oh, there's so many great places to get figures. To be honest, there are so many wonderful places to buy figures. As far as in person goes, I love going to GameStop and Walmart and Target. I love doing that. Local. If you have any local comic book stores, go to those. But online, there's plenty of, there's always you think of Big Bad Toy Store. There's plenty of other places besides Big Bad Toy Store. There's so many places. I made a whole video on all the best places to get figures, and I have a ton of different links to great toy stores. It's called the Toy Photographer's Guide to Action Figures. So at the time, there's probably a lot more stores I could add now, but all of the stores I knew of I put in that video, and I have them all linked right there. And Amazon's a good place too, Yeah, anybody, if you're watching, where do you like to get your figures? There's a lot of great places. If you have local Comic-Cons, go there. I got a lot of great. I went to this local awesome toy show, and look, I found both of these. He was $10. He was $15. These are old school Black Series figures, and I was super pumped about those. Really, really excited about those. And that was from the Dork Layer, online seller too. So the Dork Layer. Fred's right from Big Bad Toy Store. Entertainment Earth, says RJ Stubbs. That's a good one for sure. Local comic store, says Commander Ninja. Yeah. Local comic store. Amazon. Yeah, there's a lot of great. There's Nerdzoic. It's a great place, and Dorkside Toys, and our guy who's in the live chat all the time, J5collectibles.com. J5. Yeah, he's great. He's got great stuff on there. Yeah, there's tons of places. Just scroll on Instagram all the time, and you'll find. I find so many new places that sell figures. RJ Sub says, believe it or not, CVS sometimes has great figures. Yard sales, says Kaya. Hi, Kaya. CVS, really? I've never found anything good at CVS before. That's really interesting that you say that. So, next question. Walgreens, says Fred. Yeah, that's another good one. But Crazy Philip says, how do you make a good laser eye for photos with the milk thing? I'm assuming that's a Homelander reference. I use the same technique that I use for my lightsaber effect. So I don't do this effect too often, but I did do it recently when I was shooting my Homelander one. This one. So the effect is totally, not real. Obviously. I use real lasers. No, I use the same effect I used to make my lightsaber effect. So if you go and watch the lightsaber tutorial that I have, that's the same exact thing. I just basically draw a white line and then duplicate the layer and add some Gaussian blur and change it to red. It's really easy. And I have a very step-by-step thing to how to do it. So yeah. And if you're watching this not live and oops, oh no! Sorry. Okay. If you're watching this not live, and if I'm ever asking questions like, where do you get... Leave a comment. Please do leave a comment and say, where do you get your figures? Stuff like that. That's super helpful for anyone else who's watching. Mr. Tang's World says, I'm down in Florida. There's a really good flea market called the Red Barn. Oh, that's awesome. I love flea markets. There's not a lot of good flea markets near us, which is very unfortunate. There are a couple though, and they're still really fun, but not a whole lot. Next is from Cosmic CJ. And Cosmic CJ says, how do you get heavy figures to balance in the air? For example, Man-Bat. That's tough to do. Well, I'm trying to think of the last time I tried to balance something that big. Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Probably when you're dealing with something heavier like that, as opposed to trying to prop it up, it's better to hang it from above instead of from the bottom. So, if you have like a tripod you can hang above, or I use like a photo stand to hang things from above, and then hang it with like fishing wire or something, or even the normal spool of wire that you use. That's usually the better way to go with balancing heavier stuff. Actually, you know what? That's what I did. So one of the heavier things I tried to balance was I balanced like that. I did a photo of Aquaman on a shark. If anyone remembers that from a couple years ago, he's like riding the shark like a surfboard, and so I balanced it from above using the same wire, spool of wire, but I balanced it from above to get that to happen. So that's what I would recommend. For sure. But it's hard, Cosmic J. And speaking of which, thanks for joining the membership too, my friend. And yeah, it's really good. Oh, actually, what I usually do, Toy Box, you don't use the force to hold them up. I didn't want to give it away, but that's what I usually do. How was dinner?
It was great.
That's good. You're welcome. You want to come say hi? You can if you want.
Look at what I got us.
What? What are those?
The tiniest walkie-talkies.
Oh, those are walkie-talkies?
Yeah.
Cool.
We went to CVS and I had a $10 coupon on my card, so
they were free.
Awesome. Cool. This is Kelsey, you guys, back here. Everyone say hey.
You should make a one of Kelsey on your thing. He has
an emoji.
Yeah, he has an emoji of himself, Venom Toxin, and my Harley one.
I love that. That's awesome.
From request, of course. Are those walkie-talkies for us to try?
They're for home.
Yes.
That's why I bought them.
Sweet.
Because I told you I wanted home walkie-talkies.
Even though we have all those 4 from Toys in Action.
Yeah.
Those ones from.
These ones are way cuter.
Everyone says hey.
Hey.
How do you lower here?
There's 32 people here.
Oh, sick.
Thanks everyone who's
on
here. So the next question I have here is from PCA2 Photo. PCA2 Photo. It says, how do you get your ideas, and do you ever get photography block? We were talking about this a little bit earlier, but yeah, everyone gets the block, or writer's block, photography block, whatever you want to call it. Everyone gets the poops block sometimes too. Everyone does. It's okay when it happens. But no, like my thing is always just keep your mind open all day, every day. Keep your mind open all day, every day, and you know, like I said, when you're driving home, keep an eye out for stuff that might give you an idea. Watch a movie, read a comic. And there's ideas for toy photography everywhere. But also at the same time, if you do ever feel that photography block, just remember it's okay, and you don't feel the need like you have to snap out of it right away. Just let it go, do your thing, do something else, and it'll come back. It'll come back. And Fred says fiber is a good way to get rid of the block, for sure. Linda says, I built a stand with a skewer and foam for my Goliath. Oh, that's really smart. Hey, Maz Toy Box, how's it going, dude? Thanks for being here, man. But yeah, just keep your mind open all the time. Just keep your mind always open. So, Emerald Knight Photos. Wow, you guys, great minds think alike. He said the same thing about writer's block. Yeah, writer's block, dude. Exactly what I was just talking about. Just keep your mind open all the time, and if it happens, it's okay. It'll come back. Don't worry about snapping out of it right away. You'll eventually snap out of it. The Don Rooster says, who inspired you to do toy pics? Well, actually, there was definitely a handful of toy photographers back when I started that really inspired me. The two that probably inspired me the most were, Sergeant Bananas. A lot of people say that. He was huge inspiration for me, especially at the time. He was doing a lot of explosion stuff, Star Wars stuff, just a lot of just like straight up war, just deep war shots, and it was just so cool, and I was so inspired by it. And then another guy, Everything Kylo, was a huge inspiration for me. He also did a lot of practical effects and fireworks, and I was super inspired by him. And he unfortunately doesn't really post anymore, which is too bad, but who knows, maybe he'll come back. Really great guy. So, huge inspiration for me. And Maz is over here saying, I find it helps me a lot. Oh, talking about writer's block, says, I find it helps me a lot having the figures easily accessible display cases so you can see the figures out and posed. Always helps me work out the figures to shoot. Oh no. Yeah, that's a great one, Maz. Yeah, me too, actually. Sometimes just looking at them, you feel inspired. And actually, while I'm working here all day, I'm kind of just surrounded by all these boxed figures, and I'm always looking at them. You know, I was like, yeah. So there's always tons of, just looking at them, you get real inspired just looking at them. You know. So let's see. So the next one's from the Tactic Rifle, and he says, opinion on no windows. I'm not sure what he means. Tactic Rifle. If you're here, let me know what you mean. Or if someone else in the live chat knows what he means on no windows. Does anyone else know what he means? While you guys are typing that, I'm going to go look at one of the... in the live chat. So Fred says movies or everyday life. Definitely. RJ Sub says sometimes I just start playing with a figure, pose it in different ways, add the accessories. Yeah, me too, RJ. I do that all the time. Definitely just messing around. And Jade says, when it comes to getting figures wet, if you'd like to do rain or whatnot, I'm concerned about the metal parts getting potentially rusted, or it's somehow ruining the figure. How do I know? I just don't want to ruin my $50 Transformer. Definitely. Well, there definitely are some figures that do contain metal joints. Like some Mafex figures. Inside, they have some screws and stuff in there. A lot of figures, like for the most part, Hasbro, I'm pretty sure there's not like any metal in there. I think. But for the most part, I get my figures wet all the time. Really wet. And they're fine. Totally fine. For sure. Rice is a good one. But does anyone know what Tactic Rifle means about no windows? Oh, maybe he means maybe not having any natural light coming through windows. Yeah, I mean, for a while, we lived in like a halfway underground apartment, so there was not a lot of natural light coming in. So that was very tough. So I just went outside as far as that goes. But I'm not sure. Tactical rifle. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean, my friend. For no windows. No windows. I don't know, man. Sorry. Send me a message. I would love to help. But next question is from Super Pufferfish. From Pufferfish. Do you ever use any filters of any kind while editing? Not really a whole lot of filters, but every once in a while I will. I usually will end up using filters if I'm trying to do some more type of kind of design work. Like when I made my little Sirdork logo guy, who is right down here, like this guy right here. I did use I used the poster edges filter on him to get the kind of thick outline, kind of cartoonish look. And that was really helpful. So I do every once in a while use something like that, but I don't use a lot of filters as far as just like as an overall look. So okay, you know what? We're gonna go back to this because I get it now. Kevin Cornell, thank you for that. Says might be referring to Hasbro going plastic free with the new figures, so no windows. That's what he means. That's definitely what he means. So I'm not too hurt about it. I don't really think it's that huge of a deal, but at the same time, I don't really it hasn't really happened yet, so I can't really say anything. So as long as everything goes over just fine, then I think it's great. But you know, if you start buying figures and you open it up and it's the wrong figure inside, or you know, it doesn't look good or something, then that could be a problem. But it's it's almost never for me. I've never gone into a store and grabbed the figure and been like, yeah, it doesn't look good, I'm not gonna buy it. It never. There's only one time ever that's ever happened to me. There's a wonky helmet, and then after that, I've never ever gone and found a figure and looked at it and didn't look good and I didn't buy it. They always look fine, in my experience. So that's not really a problem for me. I think it's cool because, you know, the whole point of it is to move away from plastic. There's too much plastic in the ocean. You know, I get it. I think it's great. You know, the more we can do about saving all the poor little turtles and stuff from having to swim in a bunch of plastic trash, I think it's great. So I'm not too bent out of shape about it. And I do know for a fact that, you know, the bubbled ones like these will be staying around. Hasbro has confirmed it, and I did talk with Steve the other day, and he said it was mostly Steve Evans from Hasbro, and he was like, yep, you can thank me for them still sticking around with the bubbles. So they did say, like, bubbles like you know, card back ones and the vintage collection will still have plastic in those, so that's good. That's good. And Toymirth also says, until you get home and realize you have a Power Ranger in your exclusive Star Wars figure. And that's true, though. No, you're right, because if that starts happening, then yeah, it's a problem. Hopefully that doesn't start happening. And as long as it doesn't and things go over well, then great. That's great. I will, however, miss, like, because every once in a while I'll get a figure and I'm like, I just want to keep it in the box and display it, like this one. And I won't be able to do that so much with a lot of figures anymore. So, and like this one right here, like this figure right here is super rare. And when I found it, I was really excited to keep it in the box. So this one is like super duper rare. I don't know if you guys have ever found this one before, but you know, the exclusive. No, not this one. I actually never really showed anybody this before. Coming soon. Just kidding. I made this. That was supposed to be a part of my video that I made about you know, the figure I made of myself. I was gonna make packaging and everything too, but it didn't really work out. So I didn't move forward with it. Maybe in the future. Thanks, Toymirth. Yeah, but I will miss that for sure a little bit, but I think it's for the better of the world. I think it's a small sacrifice we can make. You know, I'm not too bent out of shape. Oh, Jade Souza asked earlier about the figs getting wet because of the outside. I can see metal pins and screws Hence my concern on all of them, that is. Well, to be honest, Jade, I mean, anytime you're ever going outside to do anything with your figures, whether that be with water or whatever, you're always putting them at a slight risk. You know, always, for sure. But in my experience, I've gotten my figures wet, very wet, and they're fine. And for me, I've never had any problems with them getting wet, ever. So, I mean, I've never gotten like my Hot Toys wet. I wouldn't recommend it, but as far as just like, you know, the normal stuff, you're gonna be good. And yes, the Sirdork Trooper pre-order starts soon. Just kidding. I wish. All right, what do we got here? Next is from Beerman. So Beerman says, "What's your favorite figure to shoot?" That's my SH Figure Arts Mando. I love shooting that guy. He's just so great. He's the same guy I put the cowboy hat on, you know, and I took those cowboy Mando shots. He's just so photogenic, you know, just so shiny. It's just so good. Also, speaking of the windows, Mr. Tangworld says, "The only thing that concerns me are the repackers with the no windows in the packages. Hopefully the stores will be diligent." Yeah, that's a legitimate concern too. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. We'll see. Because yeah, that would suck if that was a problem. What I was thinking that they could do is if they made something similar and then just kind of like say this is the package and there's no it's all cardboard. If they just made a little window, whoop, just around the face. I'm trying to little window just around the face there, and it with, you know, no plastic or anything. It's just an actual window, just so you can see what's there. I could see that aesthetically, like, not looking terrible, and you know, it would kind of solve the problem of being able to see what you can get. So I don't know. You know, because no one's gonna be able to pull it out or anything like that. So, just a very small window. Who knows? I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. So next one's from Dark Scythe Tanner, and yes, I love getting questions about Pokemon. It says, "What Pokemon would you like to see in figure form that hasn't had one yet?" Well, my favorite Pokemon is Feraligatr, and I do have a figure of him. It's a statue, though. Yeah, so I guess I'd say Feraligatr. And I would love to see Hydreigon. He's my favorite Pokemon. But I really do love, like, the actual... Because a lot of the Pokemon toys are just, like, very... I don't want to say juvenile, but, like, cheap little... Kind of like kids' toys. But then every once in a while we get these really nice figures. Like, actual figures. And I do have a bunch of the Figure Arts ones. So more Figure Arts stuff. The fact that we've gotten all this stuff from Jazzwares is great. Jazzwares has just been doing a great job. So just let them keep doing it, you know. Whatever Jazzwares comes out with, I'll be happy with. Keep on going. Let's see. So Dr. Awesome. He's a real doctor, you know. Yep. Dr. Awesome. And he's awesome. So he says, "Can we get some tips on creating a strong brand presence other than simply more views and likes?" Stronger brand presence. Well, I would say I actually made a whole video on and this, I mean, I know it's not necessarily about the views and the likes, but just exposing your work and gaining a following. I made a whole video on all of my tips with that, and RJ said right there, it says consistency for sure. That's a huge one, and I really do think it's important to spread your work out through different platforms. And I know that's a whole nother step, and I don't want anyone to ever feel pressured that, like, oh man, I like just using Instagram. That's fine. But if you're trying to really grow, go on all the other sites. Just start putting your stuff out there. Go on YouTube, go on TikTok, and also stick with it. It's always stick with it. Stick with it. If you're deciding, okay, I'm gonna post on all of these things, don't just start and then give up, and then you gotta stick with it and stay consistent, like RJ said. And when I think of strong branding, I really try. I probably a little bit too hard to create this kind of branding with the Sirdork stuff, you know, the the guy, you know, like this guy, my background and the colors and this and that in my mind is kind of like branding because it's recognizable. Because I want it to come to a point where, you know, you, do I have him on here? No. To the point where you see, hang on. Okay, so you see this guy anywhere and you're like, oh, that's the Sirdork logo. Like, that's my goal, is to the point where you see that exact guy, even though he's a licensed trooper, to the point where you see him and then anyone is able to recognize, oh yeah, that's the Sirdork trooper. Like, that's my goal. So I stick him everywhere, and I maintain the colors and the greens and the blacks and the whites. So that's something I like to do with all of my stuff, and I think that's really fun. And Fred also says fiber really helps with consistency. Yeah, it's good. You might as well just keep fiber in your diet all the time. Yes. I do agree, Fred. He's not wrong. He's really not wrong. But yeah, post everywhere and be consistent. But number one is always making your work the best you could possibly make it. You know, best they could be. You know, shoot all the time and just keep striving to improve. That's the best number one thing, because you could strive and post your stuff on all these different social media platforms and all these people can see it, but if it's like not that great of a picture, then that's not going to go very far. So you got to make sure you do the best pictures you can make, for sure. RJ Stubb says, have you gotten a copyright warning from Lucasfilm yet? I have not, actually. I haven't. Actually, so in the last time I was working with, I wasn't technically ever working with Lucasfilm. I was working with a group of people, a team from the Walt Disney Company and all this stuff. So it wasn't technically Lucasfilm, but the representatives there were completely aware with the fact that all the things I do and the fact that I was even selling my photos. And they're just like, okay, just wanted to make sure you weren't selling the products that we were sending you to photograph. And I was like, nope, just my pictures. So, that is very interesting to think about, though. Toybox says, when your cats come in the room and knock your Pokemon figures over, do you tell them to prepare for trouble and make it double? No, they are the trouble. They've already started the trouble, and you're the one that's going to make it double, for sure. Toymirth says, do you think shooting a lot of different things hurts your accounts? That's a really good question, Anthony. I would say, I definitely wouldn't say it hurts your account. I would say that if the people following you are consistently... Okay, I would say this. If you are consistently shooting lots of different things, that's not bad. For sure. You know, if you're like, you know, if someone goes and follows you strictly because, oh, this person posts a lot of different stuff, cool, I'm gonna follow him. But, you know, if someone goes to my page and like, oh, cool, this guy posts a lot of Star Wars, awesome, and then I post a photo with Martian Manhunter and Martin the Martian, they're gonna be like, this is not what I followed him for. That's fine. You know, so there is always the risk. If you kind of break out and take a photo of something different than what you're used to, there's definitely a chance that it's not going to get the amount of engagement, for sure. Like when I was just talking about the photo I did of Martian Manhunter and Marvin the Martian, that was a little bit different than my usual characters, and the amount of engagement it got was a small fraction of what my usual stuff gets. And that's just the way it is. I guess, you know, when people follow you, they follow you for a reason. And if you kind of break away from that reason that they followed you for, they might not really care or just kind of scroll past and not like it. Which I get it. I get it. Hey, Toy Photo FR, he says, be able to replicate an image too. Get lucky won't help. That's true, yeah. And sometimes when you're trying to, what's the right word? I think you're talking about when you're trying to take a photo similar and it's too similar. It's like a replicate. I know what you mean. And Otini says, yeah, in my opinion, yes, it can. Shadow says, I think if I shoot Marvel, Star Wars, or dinosaurs, but my posting frequency is crazy, I think it's something that hurts my account. Yeah. Thanks, off the shelf pictures. And he says, I think having a focus on what you shoot, commercial photography looks more towards specialization. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, definitely. But yeah, there's definitely, you're always going to potentially take a little bit of a risk if you post characters outside of what your followers are used to seeing, which is unfortunate. It is, definitely, for sure. But at the same time, I get it. You know, like, just think of yourself a casual viewer, you know, and you love watching YouTube. You know, you love watching YouTube, and you subscribe to this person because they post a lot of really funny sketch videos, and I just love their sketch. And then they go and post a cooking video. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that because I follow them for their funny stuff. So I get it both sides. It stinks. But if you're consistently being inconsistent and people follow you for that reason, then you're gold. You're good. Maz says, I started my game doing Predators, then I tried to break out of that, and those pictures weren't getting the engagement the Predators did. Yeah. Yeah, I know it, man. And Yatorma says, I post too many different things. You do. You post lots of different stuff. But that's okay. That's all right. Don't you just post what you want to post. You know? And if you, like with me, when I post something, mostly Star Wars stuff, and then I would go and I post a Pokemon photo, which sometimes I do, I'm very, very prepared for that photo to get half the amount of likes or whatever than my Star Wars one would get. And that's okay. That is all right. Okay, so I gotta move on with these. I'm getting a little behind here. So AB Toy Pick says, favorite figure to shoot. It's that SH Figure Arts Mandalorian, for sure. I love that figure. We're definitely nearing the end of these, you guys. So, what's your favorite toy? My favorite toy, that is different than favorite figure to shoot. So my favorite toy... Well, my favorite figure is probably this guy. I mean, this is my favorite trooper. So my Hot Toy one and my Black Series. I have a few Black Series ones. Those are my favorites. I love that guy. And so, oh, here we go. Here's a good question. Alonzog Rose says, where do you keep your figure boxes? I keep them in the trash can. I store them safely in the trash can, and then they get taken away every Wednesday morning. Actually, no, I put them in the recycling, so they come Thursday mornings. But yeah, as far as the only boxes I keep are like either if I buy a statue or like a Hot Toy box. I won't keep anything. My Black Series boxes, no. I rip those up. Even if I buy high expensive Mafex or Figure Arts, I won't keep those. I used to, and it was the most freeing, liberating thing ever when I threw them all away. So, yeah. Toybox says, I found that people don't like nastiness. I thought King Sharp sipping bloody... Oh, yeah. Yes, that... I think you could prepare yourself for that, for sure. RJ says, I have a closet full of the boxes, but thinking of tossing them except a few. I would go for it, man. Trust me, I used to have a room full of boxes. Literally a room full of boxes. But, gotta get rid of them. Fred says, I throw mine out. Yes, get rid of them. It's not worth it. It's not worth the I know as collectors, we don't want to get rid of them. It's hard to do it, I know, but it's so much easier. Life becomes so much easier when you just throw them away. Best way to overcome low profile interaction. Well, first of all, I would say don't let the profile interaction become your number one thing. Just have fun with it. But at the same time, we all like to have, success in our photos, and anyone who says they don't, and they don't care even a little bit, is probably lying. We all like to have a little bit of it, So, yeah, just, I like to say post at a very frequent, not frequent, consistent frequency. Post at the same time every week, or however you do it. Just try to be consistent with your frequency, and broaden your horizons to different places. Post all over the place. Post everywhere. And if you really want to do it, and on Instagram, go for the reels. Make some reels. Do it. That's what I'm thinking. And so OFP Marine says, do you prefer a specific lens? Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about lenses. I really don't. There's I'm always learning, but the stuff I do really like something I can get very low f-stop. So that's my main goal, is having a low f-stop. So f1.8 to 2.5, awesome. I like having a out of focus background, so that's why I go for those. Plus they help a lot with low light. So for sure. Fred says, Jared, I have a Canon macro you can borrow. Whoa. I would be very interested in borrowing that, because I don't really have much experience with macro lenses, for sure. All right, Fred, I might take you up on that. 100 millimeter. All right. We'll see. That sounds great. I would love to give that a try, because I don't have a lot of experience with that, for sure. And who knows, if I like it, maybe I'll look into see what works for Sony, what I can fit on my Sony thing. All right, you guys, that's the last question. We've been going for a pretty decent amount of time. We've been going for 2 hours. All right, that's perfect timing. So actually, before we go, I do want to tease a little bit of some really exciting stuff that I have coming very soon. And anyone who's a member, I already showed all about those, but those guys already know. But I've been doing a lot of design work stuff, because I've been wanting to create some really cool stuff for the merch store. Something, I always want to create stuff that's cool that you would want to get even if you weren't like trying to support Sirdork or something, and anyone who buys a shirt just because they want to be like supportive is like, you're the nicest person ever, and I'm so incredibly grateful. Anyone who has bought a shirt from me, but I actually want to create something that is cool enough to the point where you just want to get it because it's cool. So I do have some like really cool new shirt designs coming soon, and hats and stuff like that I put a lot of work into. So I'm really excited to share those. So I don't have the hats in yet, but they will be on the store and everything soon. But I do have the shirts. So I want to show off what the shirt design looks just exclusively to you guys. I'm not posting it yet. But I'm really happy with this shirt design, and it will be available soon, so I'll make a big reveal and everything. But this is what the new shirt design is. Pretty sweet, right?
Woo!
Yeah. Shoot toys, exclusively for toy photographers. Of course, it says Sirdork over there, and
Of course, why not?
with the little stormtrooper guy in there. So yes, I'm really excited.
Shoot them toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is important to shoot them toys. It smells so good. It smells so nice and new.
Not saying.
So those will be pretty soon, and I'll probably do some like sales and stuff when it all drops. But super excited about those. So pretty soon that will be what's I got hats coming soon too. Whoa, our Texas Host is tempting to cop that.
Hover right now.
Oh, thanks so much for the super chat, my friend. Awesome, thanks so much. A prop with a Sirdork on it. Oh, maybe I can make little mini Sirdork, 1/12 scale Sirdork t-shirts. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. And so yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm really happy you guys think they're cool. So thanks to you guys for saying that. I'm really excited.
They know they're cool.
Yes. Toymer says other colors than black. I can't do black shirts because the dog hair. Yes.
Get a roller.
So yes, lots of other shirts will be colored. Pretty much like so. I'll put everything up as is, but luckily with Spring, the company I use, I have tons of different options. Even I can put it on hoodies and other pieces, and also different colors too. So yeah, there'll be different colors. Honestly, Anthony, if you wanted to get one, just tell me what color, and I'll put up exactly what color you want, and I'll do it whatever you want. So yeah. All right. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much again. Awesome. And make sure to stick around for the whole rest of the video so you can see all of the members' awesome toy photos right on here.
Woo!
So, all right. See you guys.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Okay, now see ya. Wait, you know what? I can't leave yet. So if you're still here, because I added a whole new. Hopefully, I can still do this. Because I made a whole new ending video that includes Cosmic J's video and everything, and I forgot to add it into OBS Studio to do right now. So I'm gonna talk for the next like 1 minute.
I can talk if you want.
And then I'm gonna put it in, and then I'll do the ending like normal, and then it's gonna be great. So everyone who's still here,
I can talk.
that's okay. I can. That's okay. You work on your poster. It's almost done anyway. Yes. Artistic Toaster's still here, and everyone just keeps saying good night. I have to do this. Another minute of my wisdom. I don't really have much of that. Actually, here you go. Okay, well, what do you? Well, the thing is, what are you gonna talk about? That's the thing. What? Well, no, not no.
I'm not gonna plug it. I should say it's exciting news.
Okay, great. Okay.
I have stuff in my hair. I promise it doesn't look like this always. I don't have ramen noodle hair. I was signed to a movie as their costume designer, and it's a feature film. So everyone should see it, hopefully, in the next couple years or so when it comes out. And if you want Halloween costumes, I make custom clothes.
Yay!
I'm famous. I'm on IMDb. Look me up.
Internet Movie Database. Is that
Yes.
what IMBD stands for?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, this video is taking so much longer to download. Alright. Wow, I shouldn't have. This is gonna look really weird when I try to go and add this in. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. So here we go. It's gonna look weird for a second, and this other video is gonna play, but don't worry. Okay, I think it's officially good now. I think it's officially good. Okay, it is. Alright, again, last time. Have a great night, everyone.
Stick around for a video.
And thanks for watching. Yeah, make sure you stick around and watch all of the members' awesome photos. Okay, see you guys. Oh. Sorry about that.
He did that.
No, it was on mute the whole time.
Jared just farted.
I mean,
Really loud.
if I did, I wouldn't be denying it. That's not something I'm usually very proud of those, but
Not on
I
live
unfortunately
stream.
I would not. Oh, trust me, I'm very prideful of them. And if I did, you would be mad at me. Come
Well,
on.
it was on silent. I did say that.
Yes, we all know whoever smelt it is the one who dealt it.
Whoever did the rhyme did the crime.
It was the chair, says RJ Stubbs, or it could have been Toxin. Toxin, come here, buddy.
It could have actually been Venom.
Actually, does anyone have any pets that fart? That's a great question. For the Q&A, does anyone have a pet that farts? So, Toxin doesn't really do any farts.
The theme is farts.
But Venom is a farter, and they stink. Does anyone have any? Anyone here? RJ, Fred, do you have any pets that fart? Anybody? Imperial Propaganda says, sadly, I do not. RJ says his cat used to fart all the time. Well, I hope he's doing okay. Fred says no pets. Interesting. Just Baby Groot and Baby Yoda, right? All right, you guys. That was a great little fart convo.
You should have a month where the theme is farts.
Fart theme.
Yeah.
That actually would be really funny. That would be really good. I'm actually kind of maybe like for an April Fool's one. Sirdork. Hashtag Sirdork fart.
Sirdork toots.
We'll have to think about that. All right, you guys. Officially have a good night. See ya.